guys to your first opponent in week one. Is there any benefit to that? Maybe there's some carryover there.
I don't know, because I think the new coordinator. You can say there's carryover. It's more just to get a different look at a different opponent. At the end of the day, you still have to prepare for Baltimore independently, but it's really just getting an opportunity to play. They're going to be a very blitz heavy. They're a blitz heavy scheme, so to be able to see those and talk about those and get those and the man coverages that they play, a lot of different work than what we've gotten against ourselves, Atlanta, and so we're anticipating a really good day tomorrow.
Is this something that could happen more routinely with the Giants with these joint practices?
Would like to, for sure. I mean, it makes sense. They're right down the street. We have preseason games with them every year. If we all do it the right way, I think we can all benefit for a very long time.
We've seen Zach obviously tooling around in his cart, watching practice and so forth. Do you have an expectation of when he might be able to start doing some just positional stuff?
I have no information on that one. I know he's working his tail off with regards to maintaining his progress with the playbook and scheme, and he's in every meeting, and he's still working with getting extra work in with Calabrese and Mike. So when he's ready to get on the field, he'll be ready.
How was it getting Dwayne out there with the team dress?
It was awesome to get the whole front line working together. First time all year, it feels like, and so it was really good. I'm sure it felt good for him for his first couple of reps, and we'll continue to ramp him up and see if we can get him to. He's in phenomenal shape, so I'm not worried about his ability to go for a full game. It's just a matter of getting the football plays in. He's very familiar with the scheme, so it was awesome to get them all together.
Playing a little on Sunday too, or
yeah.
Do you expect? Or do you look forward to seeing Lawson in a game situation?
Yeah, this whole thing, I get the preseason. This is all procedural in terms of just going through the process, getting out there. It's not necessarily to watch them dominate or win one-on-ones. It's just to let everyone get out there, go through the process of understanding one another, hearing the huddle call in a game situation, lining up, playing football, go through the process, get off the field and all that stuff. And obviously you compete. Naturally you're going to compete and try to do your absolute best, but at the same time, the main thing with regards to what we're trying to accomplish, and that's to create that cohesion. So in week one, we're humming.
With Sauce, are you prepared? Is he your starter now? I mean, it's kind of trending that way. It seems pretty obvious. Can you say that?
We had good evaluations yesterday. Obviously, we're still in the alternating pattern. We're talking about it every day. So, like I said, I know Bryce had what looked like a bad day on Monday, but at the same time, that hasn't been him this entire camp. He's had a really nice camp. And like I said in my press conference after the game, I don't want one day to define them, but they've both been having a really good camp.
Not only physically, but what about Sauce mentally, his mentality, do you think will make him successful here?
I think he can drop the last play pretty easily. If he gets beat, if he gives something up, he can drop it, and he understands how to download that information and take it with him so it doesn't happen again. So he's a really cool player and someone who's going to get much better as time goes. But I do love his mental makeup.
Michael Carter, the second baseman, plays today. It's 11-11. Just talk about him and what you've seen from him throughout camp.
Great growth. A lot more comfort in playing his position. He had a play, or during the game, they hit us on a couple of 7 cuts. And usually when the bleeding's happening on the field, you want guys to be able to fix it themselves on the field, because you can't get them to the sideline to fix it. So you're screaming frantically to try to put out the bleeding. And there was a timeout, and coaches aren't allowed on the field. And so he puts his helmet on and runs on the field and starts talking to the defense and to try to put to bed the schemes that they were running. And so just to show the leadership, he was in tune in a preseason game where he was out of the game, ran out there just to be able to coach and try to deliver a message that needed to be delivered. And so I thought it was really cool. He has matured so much, and he's only going to get better as he continues to get reps, but love the direction he's going.
What has Will Park shown you in camp? I mean, he played for you guys a little at the end of last year, and it seems like he's made some plays at our camp. He had that big hit the other night.
No, he's been awesome. He's a veteran. He brings energy. He brings juice. He brings personality, character, instincts. He has been everything we hoped in terms of just what he's added from everything, including football. I mean, he seems to always be in the right spot. But I really like where he's at and all the different attributes he brings.
When you have a position like defensive line where there's a serious numbers, it's a good problem to have. You have so many numbers. Do you bend like the norm? Like normally you take maybe 8 or 9 defensive linemen. Do you go really heavy at that spot? If the guy, like, what's your philosophy?
Yeah, I don't want to speak for Joe, but I think he and I share the same thought process in that you want 53 NFL players. You don't want to cut an NFL player just because numbers say you're supposed to keep 8 here, and if you don't have an NFL player at another roster spot, then you don't want to keep them, and just because numbers tell you to. On the flip side, so yeah, we'll go heavy if it means that our objective is to keep 53 people on the team that are 53 NFL players that we think can play for 32 teams, and so we do have a problem, a good problem, but at the same time, it's like we tell those players, don't look at the numbers of your group, because you could be tight end in competition with a D lineman, or a linebacker in competition with a receiver. Like, there's all different things where you're not necessarily competing with the guys in your room, you're competing with guys outside of your room, and that's where special teams comes into play, and all the different things that we ask these guys to do.
Take a couple more. We know what Brees is able to do as a runner. I mean, he did it in college, but you've been using him as a pass catcher a lot out here. What do you like about his versatility, and what does it add to this offense?
Oh, he again. Tell you another quick story. So we had, I think it was the second day of with Atlanta. We had that 7-on-7 drill, and out of the huddle, he tells Joe, "You better throw me the ball." And he motions to the slot, and that slot fade that he caught. The guy's got unbelievable confidence. He tracks the ball very well. It's very easy for him to find the ball in space and torque his, move his body, the body control. He has body control like a receiver. So he's definitely an asset, both in the run game and the pass game, as is Michael and as is TJ. And we're learning and then obviously you get the explosiveness of Tevin and P. Ryan's physicality, and then you got Bam Knight. He's shown he can do a lot of good things too. So again, I know I've talked about that running back room, but it's a really cool room.
Was it good to get Quinnen back at team reps, and what did you see from him early in camp? It seems like he was dominating out there.
Yeah, I think he's in the best shape of his life. I mean, I don't want to speak for him. I've only known him for a couple of years now, but I mean, the guy's out there. He doesn't sweat. He's got great explosive movement. He's got that big baby face smile that we all love. But he's messing with him today. It was good to see him back from vacation. It looked like he had fresh legs, but it's good to get him back out there. He feels good. He looks good. The expectations is do your best, but we're really excited because we think his best is going to be pretty damn good this year.
Can you talk about Zerline a little bit, and also the luxury you have at the kickoff position, because you guys been using man there for a while, but I think Zerline was 80% there last year in Dallas as well.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's been there, done that. We went against him when he was at the Rams for a lot of years, and I think we had a nickname called. His nickname was Legatron back then. Now it's Greg the Leg, I guess. But he's got a big leg. You know, he can kick it from anywhere over 55 yards, and he'll have plenty of distance. I thought Eddie did a fantastic job too. He came in the stadium last year and was 8 for 8, I believe, and on field goals. So he was every bit of deserving too. We had to make a decision, and that was the decision we went with. And but really excited about Greg because he's kicked game winners. He's been through it all, and just to have that veteran presence back there who's reliable is pretty good.
Okay.
Rob, do you expect the starters on Sunday? Think you'll play a half, a quarter?
I haven't decided on the timeline yet, but it's going to be anywhere between a quarter and a half.
Quinn probably will play, or?
Everyone's playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, guys.